Hi, and welcome to the Spark the Heartz Podcast. My name is Lizzie, and I'm an intuitive energy channel and a Reiki practitioner. This podcast is a safe space where we talk about spirituality, energetics, cycles, rebirth, and so much more. So while I'm in your field of awareness today, I hope you tune into the frequency of this episode with an open heart and a new sense of curiosity. As a reminder, you're a sovereign being, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Let's get started. Hi, and welcome to episode 1. My name is Lizzie. I'm the host of Spark the Heartz Podcast, and I'm so delighted to get to connect with you in this manner. I wanted to structure episode 1 in a way where you guys can get to know who I am and also know the why behind this podcast to see if it connects with something that you can benefit from and support you in your life path journey. So let's start with my intention for this podcast. My intention for this podcast was to create a safe place for anyone wanting to feel heard, seen, and understood, to build a community where expression, healing through talking, understanding, and exploration of the inner self and openness can flow to support the collective on multiple ways, while also being of service to you when you need space to be held for you, to remind you of the power you hold within, and ultimately guide you back to your inner light's truth. After starting my business as a Reiki practitioner and intuitive energy channel, it just felt like this was now the next step I needed to take on my journey. So I really want to express my gratitude to you for tuning in today. It means so much to me, from my heart to yours. Thank you. Now, as your neighborhood intuitive energy channel, I wanted to make sure that I also expressed my beginnings, my humble beginnings, let's put it that way. I actually started to take my Reiki courses back in the summer of 2022. Before then, I had always been kind of sensitive. I would pick up on random things that my coworkers would be going through or having or feeling. And it was so random because I would feel it, and then like a few moments later, they would say things to me. Even as a kid, I remember seeing beings, spirits, and I was just like, whoa, okay, but nobody else around me saw it. So when I would say something, they'd be like, nothing's there. And I'm like, okay. So that kind of shut down for a while. And I had this experience, I remember when I was in high school, where I tuned into classical music playing to the point where my ears were burning. And this wasn't like somebody playing the classical music in the house. I remember being in my room and it just being quiet. And then out of nowhere, I could hear the symphony, like really, really freaking loud. And before, I've had it like a few times where it'd just be like, oh, a few moments of like this music, but literally it went on for a while. And to the point where I had to go to sleep so that the music would stop playing. And I remember asking my brother, like, hey, do you ever hear music like that? And he's just like, no. And I'm just like, oh yeah, of course, just asking for a friend. Like, that's cool. And those were like just some of the interactions I had always had with spirit since I was a child, since I was a teenager, through my adulthood, and now into present day. So because I had so many experiences and I felt like I had to go and look to find somebody who either had the same experiences as me or was going through the same cycles of change or transformation or just their interactions with spirit. It was hard to find a few people because I feel like nobody really talks about those things. I mean, yes, it's more open now. There's a very big spiritual community all over the place. But even then, like, I can find so much on social media. I can find so much on YouTube when I'm looking certain keywords up. But when it comes to talking about the experiences as a kid and being able to connect to somebody who has experienced either the same level of either fear or the word I'm looking for is like being put in a box and being told, hey, it's not okay to do that, and then just shutting yourself off to it. It's a common theme in spiritual community or anybody who is a highly sensitive person, HSP. And I don't want it to be like that anymore. So I figured the best way to stop something that doesn't feel like it's serving anymore is to speak about it and to create a space where those, if in case this is you or anybody that you know in your life, like encourage them to speak about what they see. Encourage them to feel comfortable for not being like everybody else. It's not playing into the narrative of allowing them to go off the hinges, but it's more of sometimes there are realities here that overlap ours that don't look the same. And sometimes meeting somebody who is having a totally different experience than yours, it's very heart opening and so warming. And the sensation of safeness comes in when someone opens up, lets you know something that's going on, and you can meet them with love and try to understand them versus shutting it down and them not feeling like they can come back to you or open up in the same way. It's very vulnerable to talk about these things. For a long time, I grew up in a household where, yes, we believed in God, we believed that there was spirits, but it wasn't a relationship or like the guidance where it was encouraged to do these things. It was like, oh no, tarot's bad. Oh no. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the heavy things. We are fascinated by cards, and yeah, I'll go have readings, but don't do readings because you're a little kid and you're not supposed to do that. Hint, hint, that was one of my experiences. But in all honesty, I just wanted to create a space so that these things can be talked about and we can be honest, real about it, and really start to take off the layers of other people's beliefs when they never really matched our own. We just took them on because it felt safe to take them on, and it felt safe to not be different from the tribe, the family, the friends, the group, whatever it may have been for you. Know that you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. You can be yourself and attract the right people that are here to support you in more ways than one. And that's what I've been learning through my life path journey. But circling back to me, I wanted to give you guys some insight of who I am as a person, aside from being an intuitive energy channel and a Reiki practitioner. I love to hike. I love nature. I love flowers. I love to be of service to others, of course, but I also love to draw. I love to listen to music. I love reading romance books. I'm your romance galley girl right here. What's up? So if you have any book recommendations, send them my way. I have a big list, but I'm always willing to add more because I love to read. I literally read every day, whether it's a webtoon, a book on my Kindle, or a physical book. I read every day just because I love to. So anyways, another thing about me that I haven't already shared is I love Pokemon. I love anime. So if you're into that, know that I'm your girl too. So a few that I love Sword Art Online. I love Nana. I love Dragon Ball Z, and a few other ones, but that's just to give you a little rundown. And so I'm a big otaku. I actually got to travel to Japan last year, which was really, really cool. It was my childhood dream come true. Me and my husband love to travel. So that's another thing. So if you're into traveling, if you love books, if you love anime, like, let's be friends. So anyways, let's get back to the main point. these are just a few things that I like to do and that I really enjoy and that are a part of my either daily life or routine or some way. So if this connects with you, let me know. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. Check me out there at Spark the Heartz. You can also check out my website and see all that. All my links will be in the notes of this episode, but I just wanted to give you guys a little context of who you're talking to when you're responding back in the middle of a room and you're just like, really? But I'm just kidding, like who you're listening to, which is me. And also to kind of give you an idea of what I do so that you can see a person on the other side of this message. You can feel my voice. You can have an image of who I am and have an understanding as well that even though I am an intuitive energy channel and a Reiki practitioner, I do love to be in this physical realm. I love eating food. I love to read. I love to create. And I just wanted to share my love of things with you too. And apart from that, I just wanted to give a little bit of information of like what Reiki is, energy channeling, because I feel like I don't know who's going to listen to this podcast, but in case you've never interacted with anybody that's an intuitive energy channel or you never heard the term Reiki, I wanted to give like a little simple explanation. So Reiki is translated to mean universal and ki for life energy. So Reiki is actually a Japanese energy technique that promotes relaxation, reduces stress and anxiety through gentle touch. While energy channeling, the best way I can describe this, channeling is something that in simple terms is when you're like humming a song or you're creating an art piece or you're just drawing or it's just something that flows out of you naturally, whether it's a dance and you just know you can move your body and you know it feels good. It's like energy of the universe just flowing through my vessel, which is my body, and it comes through naturally. In this case, I channel the Council of 11, and I also channel and connect to the angelic realm, source, and I tend to do energy work with this gift of mine because I noticed that when I was first starting off with Reiki, my Reiki master had told me like, this isn't just Reiki, you're doing energy work. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know. I thought this is what all Reiki practitioners do. But come to find out, not everyone sees things like I do. Not everyone hears things. Not everyone feels like this needs to be removed or things on people's backs. It's very different depending on who the individual that is the Reiki practitioner, what their natural gifts are and how open they are to like expanding out to. Because I notice through my work, I started my Reiki training back in summer of 2022. And ever since then, I've noticed the shift in my being. And then when I did my channeling training last year in 2024, it really propelled me even more. I became more sensitive, more open, more willing to be myself. And these are things that I wish for everybody. I truly want you guys to feel like when you speak your truth, it magnifies so much for you. And that's why I'm also here, just speaking my truth, creating community, letting other people feel heard. Maybe some things that I've gone through or have experienced or touch on are subjects that either you felt at one time that you didn't understand or it doesn't make sense, but I want them to make sense to you. I want to help in a larger way by providing a space where things can be asked and it's not taboo. Things can be brought to light to be understood. And those things are going to be a whole lot of different things on this podcast. And one thing I wanted to add was actually a card that I pulled before I even started to record this podcast. It is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And it is Ace of Fire. And the picture is a beautiful dragon with the egg in its claws, and it has a spider with spider webs, and it's just all this golden light. It's red, and he has like a calm face. And so it's a beautiful card. I'll share it on my Instagram so that if you guys want to see it, go to @SparkTheHeartz with the Z at the end and check it out on Instagram so you can see the image. And I also just wanted to share keywords: new beginnings, initiative, action, conception, invention, creation, creativity, procrastination. So the meaning of the card is this. Like all of the ace cards, the Ace of Fire represents the promise of new beginnings and opportunities. But unlike the other aces, this card also represents action. It represents the power for and the necessity of taking the initiative and actively pursuing our goals. It is about taking advantage of the opportunities we are presented with, as opposed to thinking about it. It is good to have a goal, to dream, and to make plans, but the Ace of Fire lets us know that now is the time to move beyond research and planning. It is time to take the first real step toward getting things underway. It is time to follow through on inspiration and create. It is time to weave your future into being. Time for you to begin your active participation. The Ace of Fire also symbolizes inventiveness. Take an old idea and make it better, or create something new and unique. Whatever you seek to do, you can now make it your own and imbue it with your unique perspective and imagination. Now, rather than following tradition, do something in a way that offers a new approach. I love this. And it says, you are surrounded by so much potential at this moment. The Ace of Fire represents passion and excitement. It is a time full of energy and life. Take advantage of this moment and the power it brings. And it's funny because I was doing a meditation before I recorded. I even asked for a message for the listeners of this podcast. And this is your card. Trust it, move accordingly, and I feel like I have to re-say this. Whatever you seek to do, you can now make it your own and imbue it with your unique perspective, imagination. Rather than following tradition, do something in a way that offers a new approach. So take an old idea and make it better, or create something new and unique. Whatever you desire, do it. Well, that's going to be it for now. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Bye. See you on the next episode. Thank you for tuning in today. To stay up to date on all my happenings and offerings, I invite you to follow me on my YouTube channel and Instagram, which is @SparkTheHeartz with the Z at the end. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, please see the links to my booking page and website on the show notes of this episode. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to our next gathering. Bye for now.